Good.
Hey, Mountain Cultures, SWIX Wax Clinic. This is the 3rd edition. So in this segment, we're going to wax the ski. We've already sharpened the edge, the side edge. We've already freshened the ski by brushing it before we wax. Now we've got the ski in a good position, ready to wax. And we're going to do the same thing if this was a snowboard. Just first of all, I want to talk about the waxes that we have here at Mountain Cultures. The SWIX waxes that we have, we run a basic universal hydrocarbon wax. And then we run a premium edition of that with a little bit of fluoro in it, so just a little bit faster glide phase. These two waxes are meant for a broader temperature range, and so really, really easy to use. Very, very hard to wax wrong with these two waxes. But following that, we work with a formula type wax. These are called the CH line, CHX. This wax has been developed over 7,400 kilometers of testing, so it's a really, really well-proven product. I want to show you at the bottom of our waxes there's an iron. Beside that iron there's going to be a temperature range. All of our waxes are based on temperature range, so it's really, really important that when you look at the wax you have an iron, regardless of what iron you buy. Hopefully you buy a SWIX iron. But you always want to make sure you're waxing at that temperature, and that'll make sure that the wax itself never gets smoky, never gets degraded or in any way. So it's really, really important you see that. The harder the wax, the hotter the iron has to be. So you'll see here Mountain Culture sells a really great, this is a T77 SWIX iron. We have a dial-up temperature rating, so this will actually indicate the temperature that the wax says here, 145 degrees. So we dial this up to 145 degrees. Really great product, very economically priced as well. For the next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a plexiglass scraper. This is a 4mm plexiglass scraper, and it's really good for the wider skis. Basically, you can take this ski right up to like a 110, 122 under the foot. Really great product. And myself, I'm just going to use this 5mm for now. And then, of course, I have my brushes, same brushes I use for freshening. I can use that for post-waxing, and we call that texturing. And then we're going to use a portion of our Fibertex for this as well. So, first things we need, I have my iron here. My ski is secured to the vise. My iron is dialed in. In this case, I'm using a harder wax. I'm gonna iron this in at 135 degrees Celsius. Our waxes are done air temperature, not snow temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the block of wax. I'm going to position my iron very, very close to the ski, not up high here, very close to the ski. And what I do, I just draw a couple of lines. This is a SWIX rendition of a barista. Some people will do some squiggly lines. Some people will do some designs and drips, but the most important thing is that you go down one side of the ski and you come back the other. You don't have to be too liberal with the wax, but you just want to make sure you have good coverage. The reason why I draw two lines is when I put my iron down, I'm putting it down on wax, not P-Tex. That's really important. So now, with that iron set at 135 degrees Celsius, that's the melting point for this particular wax. I'm going to smear that wax tip to tail, edge to edge, to cover the entire ski. I'm not going to miss any part of this. I'm going to make sure that I'm working the ski thoroughly. Brand new skis out of the cellophane, when you buy them from the store, require a large amount of waxing. And the ski from here on in can only ever become faster. Same with the snowboard. It will only become faster the more you wax and brush, wax and brush, wax and brush. Really, really important. A common question I get asked often is how often should you wax your ski or snowboard? My standard answer is every time you go skiing, particularly on man-made snow. If you're riding on man-made snow, you're going to need to wax your skis more. If you're up at Sunshine, ski up top, Lake Louise, Fernie, that type, it's a little bit softer snow. You can get away with missing a few times, but largely you want to make sure that you're waxing your ski or snowboard all the time. If you look at the ski itself that I have on the vise, you'll see that the ski is starting to reverse camber, so the middle of the ski is starting to rise up. That's when you know you've got the ski hot enough. So it's warming up now, the wax is in liquid form, and it's starting to actually absorb into the P-Tex. It won't absorb until you see that ski warm up and bend in the middle. So I'm just going to finish off here. Normally I go a little bit longer. You can feel your top sheet. If you feel it start to get hot, you know it's enough. And it's looking pretty good. And last but not least, you'll see that I'm moving that iron all the time. We're just going to pool that wax, so I'll just do a nice little 7-second pass here. This is not hard stuff. It's really easy. My assistant Chris is going to hand me the ski that's already done, but you can see the bow in the ski. So it's a nice flat ski. And here's my finished rendition. So a couple things I'm going to do. I'm going to secure that vise. Secure the ski to the vise. Now, if you have the helium vise where it doesn't have a middle part, just make sure that your vices are really extended, so that when you're pushing down on the tip, you're really applying pressure to that area, and you can move the ski to a position. You don't have to buy the fancy vices. So from here, I'm just going to take my scraper. The wax tends to accumulate mostly at the tips and tails. So we want to make sure that we just spend a little bit more time here. And we're just going to scrape that wax towards my garbage can. Now, if you don't have a fancy one that I have that's attached to the bench, you just put a garbage can back there. So a couple more times. Moving the wax away from the ski towards the tail of the ski. Again, like I said, the wax tends to accumulate at the tips and tails, so just spend a little bit more time there. Done. That's enough. What we're going to do now is I'm going to take that ski or snowboard and I'm going to put it up on its side. Take the blunt end, or the smaller portion of the scraper, and you're just going to guide that down the sidewall and just remove any wax that's there. Now you can take your Fibertex medium and clean off that sidewall. Remember, don't put this bluntly on your edges. You don't want to dull the edges off. Just work the sidewall. Get rid of any wax that's on there. Flip it around, do the other side. Finishing off now, going tip to tail. We're going to get that ski secured. We're going to take our brush. This is the all-purpose brush that Jay here at Mountain Culture sells. And we're going to take that same brush and we're going to, I hold my hand underneath the tip just to make sure it's extra secure. And I'm just going to brush towards the tail. So the motion that I'm doing is down and a flick like so. Down and a flick of the heel. Down, flick of the heel. So what we refer to this brushing, this is called texturing. You're texturing the wax to the structure of the ski. The structure of the ski is what you see when you buy your brand new ski or snowboard. That's a structure you want to keep looking nice and polished. There we go. So that's done. We're going to finish off now. Taking that medium Fibertex, I'm just going to wipe off the debris. Like so. Then I'm going to take my fine Fibertex and I'm going to buff that ski or snowboard. And I'm going to show you why I do that. If you have used skis and you want to sell them to your buddy or something like that, or a used snowboard, you take our wax and you wax it and scrape it and brush it and you buff it, and it's going to look really great. It's like, kind of like polishing a shoe, same kind of look. So that's, see how shiny it is now? So it's a really beautiful work of art. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.